everyone, I'm Perry.
And I'm Sia.
And today we're going to be reviewing the movie Midway.
Yeah.
So Midway was directed by Ronald Emmerich. The film was released in the United States on November 8, 2019. The movie depicts the Battle of Midway in World War II.
So the Midway actually takes us back to 1942, navigating the aftermath of devastating Pearl Harbor attack. And in the midst of chaos, the Admiral and Officer Edwin Layton kind of races against time to decipher the Japanese plan to attack Midway town.
Yes.
The film actually threads together the personal journeys of individual pilots like Dick Bass and McCluskey.
Yeah.
I think yeah. And then kind of revealing their braveness, courage, sacrifices that they have to make in the Battle of Midway to actually save the nation and also save their families. And they're really faced with a lot of odds, and this here is actually kind of goes through the strategies that they have on their own and brilliantly just save the world, right? Yeah. Okay, let's talk about the theme of the movies. Do you want to start off?
Yeah, of course. So I kind of have two themes that I want to brush over.
Yeah.
The first one is heroism, as you already kind of mentioned in the plot. The film highlights the courage that it requires both on the American side and also on the Japanese side. It kind of shows how they're acting and what they're doing for their country, and it shows the sacrifices that soldiers and admirals have to make. Yeah. Both on a personal level and both also as their job in the military. A lot of them sacrifice their life, but also they sacrifice their time with their family, with their children. So we kind of see the personal sacrifices it takes as well. Right. And it shows how they have to do these things to kind of make change for greater good. For the character of Dick Best, we see that he's missing out on his daughter's life.
Exactly.
He's not having his bond, he's not seeing his wife as much because he has to make these sacrifices. Also, for the character of Bruno, we could see that he was refusing to give any type of information to the Japanese, which got him killed at the end, a very awful death. But it was a sacrifice he needed to make sure that their fleet survives. And another thing that I want to brush over was battle strategy. Right. I feel like the movie clearly shows that the Battle of Midway was a turning point in the war, and how it brought up U.S. and how it got them involved in the war, and I think the movie shows the intelligence operations and tactical choices that come into the war. Yeah. I feel like a lot of time when we think of what's happening in the war, we just think about bombs going off, shootings and all of that. Right. But this movie clearly showed the importance of code deciphering and it showed the importance of code deciphering and the crucial role it plays in the outcome of battle, and we could see that for the Pearl Harbor attack, they did not listen to Layton. Exactly. And this is what happened. Yeah. And also the 5 minute 5. Right. That was
I know
5 degrees. That was such an awesome moment for me.
I know.
And we could see that even though it was 5 minutes, it still had an impact on the war. But it was such a good feeling. So I think I liked the fact that the movie also showed that while keeping up the suspense.
Yeah, for sure. And I feel you were amazing and explained the themes, and I want to just quickly go over something. It's resilience, and I feel it's very important in war movies like this, and Midway actually successfully captures the essence of braveness and also the resilience derived from individuals facing overwhelming challenges. And the film really delves into the personal stories also, like you mentioned, Dick Bass not being able to spend time with his family, and also other soldiers, I'm pretty sure, or pilots, I'm sorry. And I feel it really emphasizes their courage and sacrifices, and their contributions to the world really serves as a emotional resonation to the audience. And it also really showcases how brilliant they can be during this moment. And so I feel all of the elements such as intelligence, teamwork, emotions, sacrifices, really brings the whole thing of resilience in them. Yeah. Really highlights it, right? And I feel in war movies like this, it is, resilience is an element you can see, but especially this movies, like because like the actions and everything were so like realistic. Like
I think everything also kind of like built up to showing how resilient
I think
they
so
are.
Too.
Like the sacrifices they made, the fact that they were even scared, but like they chose to still do it.
Yeah,
shows the fact that they were being resilient.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think that's the one big thing that everything was leading up to. When
exactly. And then it's really great that you mentioned that they were scared because one soldier, I could not remember his name, but then the pilot really was like, oh, I can't do this anymore to Nick Best, right? And then Nick Best was trying his best to encourage him and everything, but at the end of the day, like everyone was able to contribute their thing, and even some of them went above and beyond of their responsibility, try to really save the whole nation. So I thought it was really great. Okay, so let's talk about the directing style of the movie, and I want to start off with the visual effect. So the visual effect used in the movie has led to adding series of realism and suspense of the movie. And the visual effect was there to support the plot of the movie, and also was never really viewed as overdone or extra, which other movies can be. The use of visual effect on elements such as warships, aircrafts, and explosions has really contributed greatly to the historical factor of being accurate, which I really, really enjoyed. Yeah.
Okay. And then just adding something small to that about the colors. I really liked because overall the movie included very muted tones and very muted colors. But every time a battle sequence kind of started, we could see that the colors become more vibrant and kind of more in your face.
Right.
But it was still subtle, so it wasn't overboard or overdone. But it gave that sense of realism to the battle scenes that, oh, it was really like this. And kind of it brings up the scale and shows how intense it is.
Right.
So I really like that.
And like, you brought up really great point, and I feel like those vibrant colors that came out in the battle scenes has a really contrast colors of the muted overall color that had in the beginning, so it really highlights the scenes, which I really liked.
And then I also want to talk about the shot composition in the movie. The movie included a lot of long shots and big scale aerial shots that either came from a pilot's point of view or even above them. I think that shows the intensity and the magnitude of this event and adds to the audience and emotionally immerse the audience in it. And also, like, something else that I noticed is that the movie included a lot of tracking shots in the battle scenes where the camera would follow a specific group of planes or a specific pilot and kind of get you invested in their journey. And when the battle reached its climax point where someone either died, something got bombed, something got shot, it would show a close-up reaction of some soldier or some character, which to me it kind of like it brings you up and then sets your emotion in. And also because you see this character feeling that way, you kind of emotionally resonated with it more. So it was very intense and I really liked it. And finally, I liked the back and forth settings, like between the ships, the planes, the military headquarters, and finally the wives' houses.
For sure.
It was visually very diverse, and it kind of shows you the different perspective and the different things that are involved in a war. So I enjoyed that part as well.
And those shots you talked about also really contains the connections, relationship, and the bond between those pilots, which really kind of served as an emotional resonance with the audience, right?
Definitely. And then I also want to talk about the shot composition in the movie. The movie included a lot of long shots and big scale aerial shots that either came from a pilot's point of view or even above them. I think that shows the intensity and the magnitude of this event and adds to the audience and emotionally immerse the audience in it. And also, like, something else that I noticed is that the movie included a lot of tracking shots in the battle scenes where the camera would follow a specific group of planes or a specific pilot and kind of get you invested in their journey. And when the battle reached its climax point where someone either died, something got bombed, something got shot, it would show a close-up reaction of some soldier or some character, which to me it kind of like it brings you up and then sets your emotion in. And also because you see this character feeling that way, you kind of emotionally resonated with it more. So it was very intense and I really liked it. And finally, I liked the back and forth settings, like between the ships, the planes, the military headquarters, and finally the wives' houses.
Yeah, like, for sure.
It was visually very diverse, and it kind of shows you the different perspective and the different things that are involved in a war.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed that part as well.
Yeah, and those shots you talked about also really contains the connections, relationship, and the bond between those pilots, which really kind of served as an emotional resonance with the audience, right?
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay, now we're gonna talk about our personal rating and opinions on the movie. How did you like this movie, Perry?
I actually really like this movie. Yeah. I would give it a 4 out of 5.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that I didn't like about it is that I think for the first half-ish, it was very much slower pace.
I know.
And it took me a while to get into the movie and get involved with it.
For sure.
Especially because at first I didn't like the main character. Like, he was so arrogant at the beginning. But I kind of think that was the point also.
Yeah.
To show how his arrogance come into play.
Yeah.
But so it took me a while to get into the movie, but when I got it, I felt so invested in these characters, and I felt so sad for every single person who died.
I know.
So yeah, I really liked it. I enjoyed it. I think it was a good movie.
Yeah.
And compared to I feel like because the last couple of movies we watched were all battle strategy and just talking.
Yeah. I
liked how this one kept going back and forth.
Yeah, for sure. So for me, I also really enjoyed the movie. I'm giving this 4 out of 5, just like you. And one of the reasons why I was really drawn into the Midway was because it really delves into the history of it and how accurate it is, and especially the scene of battlefield. I feel like it really provides a glimpse into the realities back then. And among various historical movies, I tend to gravitate towards films that offer a wide lens into the challenges and both victories of the characters. And Midway really resonated by bringing the significant events to life. And not only that, the movie really gave us an opportunity to experience the suspenseful actions of the movie, which led me to really focus and without any boredom or anything, right? And overall, this was one of the best historical movies I've ever watched. But also, I do agree, in the beginning, I was like, oh, is it gonna be one of those movies that I hate? But then I remember on the second day or third day, we both talked about how much we liked it.
And then I remember we also even cried at the end.
I know, it was so sad.
And I did not expect myself to get this emotionally invested. Because at the beginning, I didn't even like the acting.
Me either.
But then towards the end, it was just
I know.
I felt so much
I don't know, I felt some type of connection towards those pilots at the end of the movie, right?
And also the fact that all of them look like children.
I know,
they were so young.
Yeah, so I think overall we'll both really, really enjoyed this movie. So, great. And
we will be back with the review of Forrest Gump.
Yes!
Which was also another movie that we really enjoyed.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about that. And how that is also technically a historical movie.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We have a lot of things to talk about.
We definitely have a lot to say about
that. So we're going to be back later. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Okay, let's talk about the theme of the movies. Do you want to start off? I'm so sorry. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, okay, so let's talk about the theme of the movies. Do you want to go up?
Yeah. I want to go up.
In the midst of chaos, the Admiral and intelligent officer Edwin Layton races against time to decipher the Japanese plan to attack Midway at Fuck. Can we edit it? Or should I start over?
Yeah, let's start over.
Okay.
Also, I think I laughed at the beginning.
Oh, okay.